on to 4. I will open the floor for any public comment. If you could come up to any one of those seats up there with a mic, state your name and address, and you have 5 minutes.
Good evening. John Grenon, 14 Jewel Court. Here as a parent and not a member of any board in town, so just as an individual. I was coming up, and I don't come here too often because the news with the school district is always so good. Everything's great. The buildings, the business of the district, the standardized test scores, the one-on-one technology, just phenomenal, right? So this, I think every time I've been up here, I start with that. I did want to come up, and I wanted to ask a question about the Alertus system that went off last Wednesday. The system that we have went off, and from where I'm sitting, it didn't work correctly. It went off. People sheltered in place, which is an extremely traumatic event. I think the principal's email that went out in the afternoon really did a nice job talking about counselors that would be available. We had a very traumatic event where a system went off accidentally, and law enforcement and fire weren't notified. So I don't know if everybody here is aware of that, and if people want to engage in a dialogue, they certainly can, but the dispatch logs were released, and on the day of an active shooter in an elementary school, on that day, our system went off, and nobody was dispatched here. Nobody. So that system, best practice, NFPA Standard 72, the National Electrical Code, anybody with any common sense, or any other school district that has the technology, and believe me, we're way behind on it. That system either goes to the PSAP in Concord, so a 911 call is registered if it goes off, or it goes directly across the street, and people are dispatched. So that day of school, we all sent our kids to school and said if there was an emergency in school, you had to push that button. And now we all know if they did, nobody was coming. That's the truth. That's it. So, spoke to enough people across the street at the 2 other agencies, spoke to Concord, no call. So the system didn't work. And I don't know if that keeps you up or not. It should keep you up tonight because it's 7 o'clock, and it's not going to work tomorrow morning either unless something has changed in the last 2 hours. It hasn't changed. It's not going to work. So somebody tonight should open up a laptop computer, and they should go into the Alertus system, and they should go to the integration page, and they should put Concord in as the 911 PSAP, or they should put the police station in across the street. But nobody was dispatched here. Now, there's probably other interpretations of what occurred that day, which is great. We all have other interpretations, but at the end of the day, nobody was dispatched. And we had kids sheltering, thinking that somebody may be shooting a school up. And it was 4 hours after kids were on their cell phones seeing that that's exactly what had happened in Minneapolis. I don't think it gets any more real than that. So I don't know who knows or where that sits, but it doesn't work. The current system doesn't work. And as far as best practices are concerned, it's a poor product. And other school districts don't have it. And ones that do have such technology, that goes straight to 911. So, do the fire alarms work if you pull them? That's a fair question. Pull the fire alarm, does it go someplace? Because the guy in the building with the gun doesn't. So, sobering, but that's what happened. And we sent our kids to school that morning, a school that's full of the greatest teachers in America. A district that has, it's just unbelievable. I come here, I gush about the people in this district. I gush. The principal of the high schools emailed that afternoon. It was so great to see. It's fantastic. But I told my kids to push that button. So as if tomorrow morning, my kids are gonna run across the street if it goes off. Because I know the button doesn't go anywhere. And that type of a response should have been not only Londonderry PD and Londonderry Fire, but it should have been mutual aid to Derry, like other school districts do. So I don't know if you're aware of it, but that's what happened. The logs were published this morning. And I made the phone call, and nothing went off over there. And that's it. So maybe a school resource officer knew, maybe somebody's cell phone went off. Absolutely inexcusable that that occurred. So if somebody found smoke in this building, would we like try to find an off-duty firefighter to go sniff first before we called somebody, or would we want to? No, we would just call. And that's what we should be doing when seconds matter. So I wanted to bring it up because it needs to be fixed tonight. It's a system that can. I spoke to the Alertus people today. I want nothing to do with this, but I'm in this industry, but I want nothing to do with it up here. Spoke to them today. So if you logged into your computer right now at 7:07, you could have this done by 7:10. Nobody should go to bed tonight without this being done. Nobody. Because it doesn't work. It's not going to work in the morning, and this is going out in public. But if this isn't said here tonight, then we all just get up tomorrow morning knowing it's not working and no one's doing a goddamn thing about it. It didn't work. So that's it. Again, haven't had a bad day in this district, haven't had a bad day. We have the greatest faculty that have ever walked the planet. Phenomenal. But we're going to talk about cell phones tonight, and we're not talking about a potential active shooter on a day when there was an active shooter and the police weren't called. That's insane. It's insane. So I just wanted to put this in front of everybody and say thank you for everything that you do. But I strongly suggest from a risk management perspective, somebody opens their goddamn laptop tonight and fixes this before 9 o'clock, because school should not open tomorrow morning with this being this way. Absolutely not. And that system's been up for a long time. The conversations I had today, how long's it been up? A year? 2 years? Has it not been going across the street for 2 years? That's just so troubling. My God. So I assume my 5 minutes is close. I want to thank everybody for everything that you do and the service that you do for this town. I want to acknowledge the principal of the high school for his email that afternoon, because that's going to be a super traumatic event for him to be notified whether he was here or he was not, and dealing with it the best he could, especially dealing with a broken system. That thing goes off, there should be 100 cops walking through the front door. That's how it should go.
Yep.
Because if you miss that beat, well, if it happened in Minneapolis, let's just talk about that for a second. If it happened earlier in the day, maybe there'd be 10 elementary school kids that are no longer with us because there was no delay. Keep that in mind. But do me a favor, please fix this tonight, because it can be fixed tonight. And this is not best practices in the industry, and it is certainly not best practices in the K-12 space. Absolutely not. Positively not. I can give you 15 districts that do it differently and have a reintegration package electronically, so when the fire department and PD roll up, you know where people are. We don't have any of that. What's going on? Taxes are high enough in this town, and you people have done a phenomenal job managing the school district and the money to a T. Like, let's fix this. And the last thing I'll say is, this is what you get when you piecemeal together a project with 2 or 3 different integrators. And I was here a couple of years ago talking to this board about it. When the current business manager is the best, rock solid. And prior to that, not at all. Not at all. Failing grade, and this is what you get. And it doesn't work. And our kids are at risk, and they're at risk in 12 hours. So I beg you to fix it. And if anybody tries to dodge it, I'm going to wallpaper the district office with 91As from not only this agency, but the ones across the street. So don't come up with an alternative explanation for this in some alternative universe, because I got nothing but time in my hands, and I got the story today. So don't. Get to the bottom of it and turn this goddamn system on. And please do it before my kids show up at school in the morning. And care more about the yellow button on the wall than cell phones. But I'll tell you this, with this not working, that cell phone's gonna be in my kid's pocket, because when there's an emergency, I'm gonna know exactly where they are. Exactly where they are, because nobody else is, with the exception of the teachers that put themselves in harm's way here every day. So I thank you for your help, and if there's anything that I can do to assist you, please reach out. Happy to.
Thank you, Mr. Grenon.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And can we look into that to make sure, get somebody to check it?
There's a lot that's going on behind the scenes that we can't discuss publicly right now.
Yep.
And we're actually meeting as a team tomorrow to digest everything. That's the best I can say right now.
Do I still have any time left in my 5 minutes?
Come on, please.
Because I'll tell you, if you can't say it publicly, which I understand, I've got some reservations with that. So this is public, right? I don't know what can't be said publicly, but the system didn't work correctly. Let's not hide behind that. Let's not say we're gonna have a debrief or whatever you're gonna have, or a meeting. Let's not do that. Let's just talk quickly about this. It should be said publicly, because what's going to happen is, if it's not said publicly, it's not gonna change.
Yep.
Embrace that. It's not going to change. So say it publicly. We're not talking about disciplining a student here. We're not talking about disciplining a staff member. We're not doing that. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a mechanical electronic system here that's not up to code and not up to standard. And I appreciate Dan's position, absolutely. And I appreciate everything Dan's done for the district. Your biggest fan in town, really am. This is broken. So you can talk about it, because here's the thing, and this board's got, not this board, I love this board, but this board's got a history of taking that point of view. You lose every time, because it's a matter of public record. You're not gonna be able to hide that, absolutely not. Then the flip side of it is, if there's things you can't say, then what is it, the Londonderry Times or MUR asking? There's gonna be another avenue, because God damn it, as a parent, we're gonna find out why it doesn't work. And it's certainly not for your trying and your effort. Jason, same thing with you. You guys are working hard for this, there's no doubt in my mind. But it's broken. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know who the hell's responsible for the system, but after what happened the other day, and it not going across the street, if I was running the school district, they wouldn't be here anymore. There's gotta be some level of accountability. I'm hearing that if my kid takes their cell phone out, there's gonna be the Benghazi hearings, and they're gonna get detention and everything else. A goddamn active shooter alert went off in the building, nobody came. That's like such a problem. And maybe my world is maybe just death and destruction, I don't know. But that's crazy to me. So I appreciate you saying that, and I do understand that you've got different rules you gotta play by. Totally unacceptable for the electeds that are sitting up here, that there's things we can't say. Totally unacceptable. If I'm asking about I know how much the teachers make. All this public record information, this should be public. This should be public. I've seen floor plans for these schools on the street for projects. Stop. This is not a national security issue. Somebody go home tonight, open up your laptop, and connect it to the police station across the street. So if somebody pushes the button tomorrow morning, we know somebody's coming. Well-intentioned teachers, these teachers here are heroes. These teachers are heroes, and some of the teachers that were here the other day, barricading doors and they are just heroes to our kids. But at the end of the day, they need somebody to come over here to meet that threat level, exceed it, and stop it. And they're not coming as of right now. We can go push the button now if you want to see what happens. We should pull the fire alarm, and we'll pull the Alertus system. Want to do it? Pull it right now, see who shows up. Because a big red truck will come over, but I don't think anybody else is coming. And God help us, did the school resource officers get these alerts on their phones? They do. Are they their own phones, or are they the police department's phones? Well, that's a problem, because if they're getting alerts, now that phone's a matter of public record. So the phone and the pictures of their kids and everything else, that phone's now a matter of public record and can be subpoenaed. That's insane. And I'm not so sure they know across the street that that's the case. Here's the other one. The onus of that police officer getting an alert on their phone that there's an emergency at the school and they're on a day off, that's a bad spot to put somebody in. They're gonna dispatch from home? Curriculum development, unbelievable. My kid's homework, I can't even help them with it. I look at it and I can't even help. You need a PhD to help with homework at this point. Running the finances of the business, this is simple. Simple. Hit the button, they come. That's the end of it. And if they come and it's a false alarm, so be it. So don't, I appreciate the position that you're in. No more. No more, we can't talk about it. There's gonna be meetings. No more. No more. And I don't think half the parents realized what happened last week, that nobody was coming. And I think parents would be a little insane about it. If they're not, I'll be insane alone. That's not a problem. But this has to be solved. I appreciate, Mr. Chair, the extra time.
Yep.
Dan, thank you.
Thank you. We'll talk about this. We'll have to talk about this tonight and see if we can get an answer, see if he can get us tied in. I don't know if you can get, is it John that would handle that?
Again, there's a lot that happens,
We just want to make sure it's active across the street for tomorrow morning, fire and alert, okay? All right. Any other public comment? Seeing none, I'll close public comment, and I'll open a public hearing